Megovanen, everyone. Welcome to another first impression video. Allow crash reports to be sent. Okay. Okay, yeah, Megovanen, everyone. Welcome to another first impression video. This is a game called Encased, a sci-fi post-apocalyptic game, I think it said. So I've never played this game, but I got it when it was on sale for around $5. And it looked very interesting to me, so, you know, I kind of checked it out and decided to get it. Let me just adjust the volume here, sound effect. Okay, music might still be a little loud, so. Even though the music sounds quite good, but still. You just have to turn the volume up so you can hear me even better, and you can hear the game at a respectable volume. Ambient. I don't know if this should be like maybe events and dialogues. This might be good at 15 as well. Voice over, maybe 15 as well. Oh, okay, all of this looks good. Windowed, full screen, frame rate limit. There we go. Quick save is F5. All this, I think, looks good. Okay, so I think post-apocalyptic RPG. Okay, so let's go check this out. I think it looks something similar to the old Fallout 1, Fallout 2 by Interplay. So let me go ahead and let's start a new game. The most simple and relaxing mode for those who do not like complexity and play for the sake of the plot. Journey, medium difficulty mode, for those who want to focus on exploring the game world. Classic hard mode for those who have been playing RPGs for a long time and love challenges, tactics. Very challenging mode for those who want to test their skills in numerous turn-based battles. The most simple and relaxing mode for those who do not like complexity and play for the sake of plot. I mean, typically this is very appealing to me, but I want something hard mode. Let's go with Journey. Damage dealt by enemies, minus 50% of base value. Character's hit points. Enemies never dodge attacks. This gets first turn in combat. Each miss of your character. Alright, I guess we'll go with that. That just seems like it's a nice balance.
We woke up in a different world, where the Cold War ended along with the Vietnam carnage. All because of the Dome. The Dome. A territory full of anomalous artifacts, phenomena, and organisms. We still don't know what it is. An alien city? Some kind of a testing ground or storage? Whatever it is, no living thing trapped under the Dome can escape it. Yet even this did not stop the research. The major powers created the Cronus Mega Corporation to develop and explore the Dome. Its secrets became a lucrative business. The Spire station was built on top of the dome to export the artifacts and import supplies and personnel. The city of Crystal Sands grew at the foot of the dome, eventually becoming a major transportation hub. All this required thousands of employees, and there was no shortage of candidates. Romantics, pragmatists, and adventurers of all trades swarmed recruiting centers around the globe, seeking jobs at Cronus. You were one of those people. In 1976, your application was approved, and you went under the dome towards the future. Whether a good one or a bad one, only time will tell.
Also, I would like to take the time to give a shout out to my very, very dear friend, my brother-in-arms, Alagarr, once again, for sending me the kindly birthday gift that he sent to me. And by the way, he'll be coming to visit this Wednesday, so I'm thinking maybe I think I will release this either today or tomorrow, so you know, that way it's not going to be too confusing. But I want to give him a shout out because if you haven't seen the package opening yet, I will just tell you he sent me an LG 27-inch what was it, high refresh rate monitor, which I still have to open up and you know, put it on the desk and everything. So I'm still using my other one, which is already very big, but this one's an even much better one, the one that he sent me, and I'm going to have to rearrange some things. But okay, let's look through some of these. Psionic attacks. Okay. Welcome to the character creation screen. Where you will create a protagonist to plunge into adventures under the dome. To begin, choose the name of your character. Select the wing in which they work. Their portrait, then adjust their physical appearance. Okay, I don't feel like coming up with some other name, but how low can I go with this? Oh. Okay, fine, let's do that. Entry level position. You know what? Okay. That's all fine. Attributes. Basic physical or mental characteristics. The higher the attribute value, the greater. Okay. After selecting your wing, specialization. Okay. Character creation. If during character creation the brain stat is set to the values of 1 or 2, the protagonist will be incapable of meaningful dialogue. Often this leads to unexpected results. Some quests become unavailable. I believe, yeah, this is a early access game. Oh, that's an interesting effect. Okay, this seems like it's default. Lady Luck. I do love the luck attribute. though it's very underused. As well as charisma. I think this is almost like a well-rounded kind of character, so I think I'm gonna go with that. In Encased, characters have a variety of skills that reflect their prowess in specific areas, be it handling different types of weapons, applying medicine, or repairing equipment. We recommend choosing 2 applied and 1 combat skills, but you may select 3 skills as your tag skills. This will add additional 30 points to each tag skill. Choosing 2 applied and 1 combat. Okay. I think two applied, 1 combat. So medicine. Okay, that looks good. Combat, heavy weapons, heavy machine guns. I don't know how hard it would be for me to get that, but supernatural. Psionics, this reminds me of Heroes Unlimited. It's tabletop RPG. Put out by, I think it's called Palladium as a company. Who put out those books, the label, or whatever you would call that. Abilities of the mind, often thought as supernatural. These include the ability to make near-future predictions, to sense the presence of nearby relics, and to interact with forefathers' machinery. I'll go with heavy weapons. When creating a character, you can choose 1 personality trait for them. It has both pros and cons, and is entirely optional. Oh, I really love this. As a bag of hammers. Oh, okay. See, I love this. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Daggerfall, how you're able to choose a weakness and strengths and stuff like that. Oh, caliber. You owned a solid collection of arms and spent a lot of time at shooting range, but excuse me. But in real combat, you are instantly overwhelmed by the desire to shoot everything at once, and you have a waste precious seconds to focus. Vampire. It's not real vampires, but I'll go with Gun Fanatic. Great, your character is almost complete. Now double check the data and confirm your choices. Blackwing. Good. Interacting with different characters is an important part of the game. To start a dialogue, click on the character, and if they are set to talk to you, a dialogue interface will show up. From conversations, you can find out valuable plot information, clues, and even receive tasks. Choose your lines carefully. Careless words can cause resentment or provoke a fight. Okay. So, which one is... Oh, this is me. So, Sigrun.
A man with a mustache and a blue jumpsuit is standing at the window. studying the construction site below through the occasional break in the clouds. His badge reads Igor Patan, planner. The Blue taps on the glass with one finger and gestures you to come and take a look. Seems like he doesn't speak English.
Influence 20.
Using sign language, mimicry, and all of your artistic talent, you're able to communicate with the planner.
I really like that.
Once he's sure you're watching, Patanin points up in the direction of Spire Station, from which you departed a few minutes ago. He sketches the outline of the station on a broad, foggy section of glass.
Barter, bribe. Oh, I love
Once
it.
he's finished, the Blue turns to you with a delighted expression.
What is the purpose of this station?
This time, Igor is quite laconic. He pauses, then confidently writes cargo and personnel in block letters, and
Is
draws
this
an arrow
reversed?
pointing downward. Beside it, he writes
What?
relics and draws an arrow pointing up. His arm
Oh,
is
okay.
turned back
I'm
to
aware of that. What are the dimensions of this station?
The Blue begins to mark up his diagram with a series of footnotes and numbers. Turns out the station's ring diameter is a bit more than 1,500 meters. Its height above the dome is 317 meters. And the total height of the spire, including the loading docks, is nearly 720 meters. With a series of confident strokes, the planner delineates the capsule's movement scheme, drivetrain, and massive hydraulic brakes on the glass.
Okay, I thank you.
The engineer stops you with a gesture, and after rummaging through his pockets, offers you a small candy. There is a picture of a crayfish on the white wrapper. Is this candy crayfish flavored?
I like exotic kind of food, so I'll take it. Thank you.
It's surprisingly spongy and tooth-achingly sweet. You can only wonder what it has to do with crayfish.
Various actions, such as eating food or taking medicine, may impose certain status effects on you. They can last for different times and be positive or negative. Some effects and some attacks and abilities can also apply status effect that changes the characteristics of the target. For example, bleeding or poisoning will gradually reduce health.
A young, dark-haired woman is staring through the illuminator, her gaze glued to the slowly approaching desert. She's whispering softly.
We've crossed the border. No way back now.
She turns to you. The shiny badge
really
on
like
her white
this.
jumpsuit reads Tomoko Kimura, physiologist. As the woman takes in your black uniform, her smile fades.
There are 6 people in this capsule. 2 of them in black jumpsuits. Not a statistically significant sample, but the trend is evident.
She says with a squint. Kimura shakes her head disapprovingly and turns back to the illuminator.
This place is a scientific treasure trove, and you're treading all over it in your jack boots, blowing up doors that are thousands of years old, acting like you own this world. What devilment.
In your jack boots, blowing up doors that are thousands of years old, acting like you own this world. What devilment. Argue that you have a duty to protect Kronos personnel from the dangers of the dome. Say there are a lot of oranges under the dome. Some are dangerous.
The white's face warps into a derisive grimace.
How many convicts have you actually met in your life? They're human beings, regular, normal people. And you
I'm
come
not
here convinced
bored,
they're
it's just
subhuman,
I'm
lower class,
extremely
that
tired
they deserve
and,
suffering and death instead of the new
so
life under the
that's
dome
why.
that they were promised. Such a viewpoint makes you more dangerous than any prisoner.
Kronos Foundation presents Gleaming futuristic, state-of-the-art cities, straight from the pages of science fiction. Well-paid, safe employment, career advancement opportunities,
That's
and a
great.
world-class social safety net. Noble and intellectually stimulating work in state-of-the-art laboratories. We're thrilled to welcome you to the Dome. Please hold on to the handrail and prepare for landing.
Stopping by the door's porthole, you watch as the ground slowly approaches.
Already I can tell that I'm going to like this game.
It looks brown-black through the tinted
The music
glass
is stellar.
and smoky blue at the horizon. It almost seems like the clouds are pulling apart there. You peer into the rusty clouds of dust blowing along a dirt road leading south.
Right there.
The southern sector. Every black winger has heard the whispers about Operation Simoon, a major offensive under preparation since the early days of development of the Dome. Cronus is recruiting troops capable of capturing the southern territory, an area heavily guarded by the Forefathers' defense systems. Maybe you yourself will end up in one of those troops. Just as you're about to move away from the window, you notice a whirlwind beginning to form above the ochre plain. The gathering storm drifts unhurriedly above the desert, a crown of green lightning flashing at its core. Clearly no ordinary weather phenomenon. It must be one of those anomalies. You freeze by the window, unable to avert your gaze. The outlines of the landing site, blurred by clouds of dust, appear behind the greenish glass of the porthole. The capsule shudders as the braking devices engage.
The world economy now revolves around the Dome and the study of its technologies, an effort shared among many nations, both capitalist and socialist. The world can rest easy. There will be no nuclear apocalypse, only collaboration in the interest of all mankind. Wait.
Come here.
Oh.
Come on now, or you'll miss everything.
A cheerful man in a white lab coat grabs you by the sleeve. A badge reading Ludovico Nuzzi, scientific analyst, export department, dangles loosely on his clean uniform, which still smells pungently of washing powder.
Look over there.
He points upward with a sharp, wide gesture and hands you his field binoculars. You raise the binoculars to your eyes. Under fourfold magnification, the whirling cloud above the rust-colored plains looks even stranger. Its core glows with flickering green light, and flashes rhythmical. And that rhythm seems to form a complicated pattern.
You see, games like this that really, this format where it's describing everything with a somewhat simple, but still also lovely to look at, but a simple visual aid here, and you make your choice of either what you're going to say or what you're going to do, to me is more of an RPG than, I'm just trying to think, but maybe something like, I don't know, it just feels to me more like an RPG than, well, something like a Diablo 2. You know, it's, as much as I really love that game, this one, it has more more RPG appeal than that game, and games similar to that. And I guess in some cases, even more so than something like, again, I'm not bad-mouthing these games as I absolutely love them, but Oblivion and Skyrim, not so much, you know, Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, those have heavy role-playing game elements to them. But with that being said, games like Oblivion and Skyrim, they do have still some RPG elements, but they're more immersive, you know, and that's, you know, one of the things that it has going for it, and it's a very strong pro, you know, for me. But again, so is this. So if a game can have, you know, all of those things checked off, to me that would make for a pretty perfect RPG.
Nazi bends close to your ear.
Fascinating. Do you want me to bring some filters? If we intercept the red and blue spectrums, we'll see something amazing. It's like a signal, some kind of message.
You know, doing all these skill checks, I love it. Reconnaissance 30, answer not available. Ask him what it is precisely you are looking at. Ask him what scientific analyst export department means. What exactly are we looking at?
I don't know.
Ludovico laughs unnervingly and snatches the binoculars from your hands.
Okay, fine.
With the binoculars raised to his eyes, he minutely adjusts the focus.
It's a massive whirlwind north of Concord. Not merely some desert sandstorm. That's an anomaly. I hope it lasts long enough for me to make a proper observation.
So I'm guessing we haven't really entered an apocalypse just yet, and I guess it's going to lead into it, unless, you know, I misunderstood what I read earlier. But okay, well, I must go now.
Nazi looks from you to the capsule and to the landing terminal entrance. He flings his arms up.
Oh, mi scusi. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. You'd better get going or you'll be late for check-in. Your colleagues are already inside. And the storm is growing stronger. Yeah, the storm is growing stronger.
The White mutters in fascination, eyes glued to his binoculars, which is fixed on the spinning whirl of clouds.
I'm curious. Does this let me... Oh, okay. So it lets me go back. Throughout the game, you will perform various tasks, some of which lead you through the story, as well as others that reveal different aspects of life under the dome. So maybe it's like the beginnings of an apocalypse, but it hasn't turned out so bad yet. You can always find out the task status and read the details in the data section. pressing L. Oh, I like that. Okay. Yeah, I really like that. And it has a codex, or I can tell this codex has a potential to be highly detailed, which is something I love in RPGs. I will say that Diablo 3 has one of the best kind of journal keeping and codexes I've seen. Where did the quest go? Oh, here. This is very much like Baldur's Gate 3. I think even Pillars of Eternity did this as well, where I'm able to move the camera around in free roam. Trying to get back. Is this it? Oh, here.
Just
Greetings, newcomer.
A tall receptionist watches you from behind his desk with a bored, haughty look. He waves impatiently at you to approach. The employee glances at you indifferently. His upper lip is ever so slightly curled in contempt.
All new employees must register first thing. Come up to the desk, please.
The nameplate on the desk tells you you're talking with Dean Rayhead, administrator.
I'm curious to see what this is, or how this works. Oh, crayfish candy bar, or candy. Candy for 300 turns healing. Okay. Does this give me... Is that the value? 40, yeah. Oh. Okay.
The administrator slaps himself on the forehead.
Ah, I almost forgot the regulation pre-registration greeting. Just a second.
Rayhead produces a reel-to-reel tape recorder from beneath the desk, rewinds the tape to the beginning, and presses play. The speakers explode with a harsh, crackling sound, over which the tick-tick of a metronome slowly grows louder. Solemn music begins to play, and the administrator's face takes on a serious expression.
Dear employee, on behalf of the Cronus Foundation, I, Administrator Dean Rayhead, welcome you to your new life under the dome.
The administrator clears his throat and continues.
By joining our company, you choose the path of science and progress. You are among mankind's best, and we ask that you live up to this.
Dean squints down at the monitor.
Deserve this title. Do your job honestly. Obey the law. Respect your colleagues and...
The music fades, and the administrator finishes his speech.
And together we will build the best possible future for all mankind.
Dean puts the tape recorder away.
Now that we're done with the official greeting, I'll register you and upgrade your Selectron. Okay?
Okay.
Dean's hands hover over the keyboard. He gives you a nod.
Dictate information to him. Pass him a note upon which you've written out your information in advance. Enter the data into the terminal on your own. No, I'll just save time and hand him the
The
information.
administrator squints at the paper in his outstretched hand before setting it next to the keyboard and entering the information into the database. Rayhet scans the computer screen.
So your position in the
XP
waiting
for that.
list was 63,784. You've been assigned to Magellan Station. A special bus will bring you there after a series of briefings. Please pass me your Selectron so I can update the firmware.
Dean snaps the docking port of your pass to a recess in the casing of his computer. The administrator returns your Selectron.
Here you are. You now have first level clearance. As a Blackwing employee, you get access to the barracks, the armory, surveillance rooms, remand centers, and other specialized facilities.
Kind of also getting a little bit hungry, you know? So, just want to get into combat as well, just to kind of experience that. And then I think somewhere around after the combat, I'll end it. You know, this is just a first impression video after all. And I have to admit that so far I am very impressed by this game.
Dean continues.
All new employees have a short list of tasks to perform on arrival. Do you want to hear all the details or just the short version?
Okay, just give me the short version.
Rayhet snorts.
To make it short, get your uniform from storage, your weapons from the armory, pass the Psi abilities test, and complete your weapons training at the training zone. Then learn how to use the scanner, avoid anomalies, and properly catalog anything you observe. Last, go to the waiting room and wait for the bus to Magellan.
Dean sits back in his armchair.
That's it. I hope there aren't any questions.
Rayhet claps his hands in satisfaction. He reaches for the tape recorder, but thinks better of it.
Protocol calls for a little welcoming preamble, but dash it all, that's nonsense. Welcome to Concord Station.
As he's about
Thank you.
to turn away, Dean suddenly remembers something.
Oh yes, I sent your mail to your Kairos. Check your new messages. Well, that's
So
all, I think.
Kairos, almost like a Pip-Boy. Messages sent to you by various game characters are stored in the message section of your Kairos. Messages from some employees' computers also end up there. All your messages are in the inbox tab, and after reading are moved to the archives tab. Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm just a little curious to see these messages. I order to ensure the protection of key points of the facility, storage facilities, equipment issuing point, information center, loading dock. Report suspicious activity to local commanders. Suppress attempts of sabotage as well as particularly malicious attempts of discipline violation. Most stringent measures are allowed to be taken against the employees of the Orange Wing, including liquidation. So Orange Wing seems like it's filled with a lot of outlaws. This order has the highest priority. Okay. Get your uniform from storage, your weapons from the armory. Okay.
Anything urgent, Mr. Krachkov?
Did you mark it as Class 1 again instead of 2? Look,
Lobby.
here's the scanner data. It says the relic is a scientific device.
Wait, but it's still class 1. I'm not going to violate protocol.
Behind the storage counter, you see a small, neat guy. His gingery hair shines with something like brilliantine. His badge says, Sidney Maynard, storekeeper.
Oh, what a lovely angel. Came down from the heavens. Good morning, my lady. Is it something urgent? By the way, my name's Sidney. My friends call me Sid, though I prefer a different name. Want me to whisper it to you?
He smiles languidly, leaning on his elbows against the counter. The effect is more laugh-inducing than playful. Never taking his gaze off you, he reaches under the counter, loses his balance, and clips his chin on the desktop as he falls down.
Okay, so he's kind of like maybe doing this, and he lost his balance and he hit his chin on the corner of the desk. Okay.
A full minute later, he reappears, grimly rubbing his jaw with a thick logbook. He thumbs through it for a long period, squinting nearsightedly. Eventually, he gives up the struggle and reluctantly puts on his glasses. The silver finally stops and pins down a particular page with his finger.
This is your first uniform requisition, right? You can also purchase any equipment you need for the desert directly from me.
And my gear.
Maynard smiles at you over his glasses, practically stripping you naked with his gaze.
Your voice is enchanting, my lady. I could listen to it forever. Right now, you need to listen to me. I am going to give you some instructions. These are the rules.
Okay.
Sidney fiddles with his hairstyle.
So, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Life under the dome can be dangerous. You may get shot, spill acid on yourself, get electrocuted, or suffer the
Look at
effects of
this.
a dangerous anomaly. You may also freeze to death or get fried. That's why it's important to wear protective equipment when traveling outdoors. Of course, in hazardous situations, the equipment will get damaged, and the more it's damaged, the more often one has to repair it.
The silver steps back from his counter to indicate the repair kit boxes piled in the back of the warehouse. He points back at the shelves behind him.
We've got repair kits for this gear. There are Blue Wing specialists ready to help you at any large base, of course, but they're not always available. So, you'd better learn how to use repair kits and workbenches on your own. It's a useful skill.
Sidney leans on the counter again and throws you a lazy wink.
No one would ever say no to a cutie pie like you, though. Those are all the instructions, by the way. Shall we get to the giving part now?
The silver disappears into the back for a while and returns with a small package. Unfolding the package, Maynard shows you a brand spanking new uniform.
Standard issue Blackwing equipment, trousers, boots, jacket. Everything is stain resistant and armored. Bear in mind, this gear is made from all natural materials. Well, Cronus takes care of its employees.
He says with a bit of swagger. He raises a finger.
One more important thing. In accordance with Order 16-225, helmets and gloves are not issued, but they're available for purchase from me. Please bear in mind that a full
Helmets
set
and
includes
gloves.
headgear or a mask, jacket, trousers, gloves, and boots.
Okay.
Sydney hands you the package.
Here's your uniform. Enjoy.
Let me see what you have for sale. Maybe I'm interested in getting a helmet and gloves.
Sydney waggles his eyebrows.
Trade is an
Anything
important
up
element
to a
of
star
Encased.
in the sky, my dear.
While playing, you
Here,
will meet
take a look.
characters who can trade with either by choosing the related dialogue option or by clicking the barter button in the dialogue interface. You will meet characters who you can trade with either by. Okay.
Sydney leans on the counter.
Honestly, lady,
Clothes and a
I'd sell
helmet.
you this entire place and give you an incredible discount if I could. I'm not the one who sets the prices.
So that's 25, 50, engineer's cap, 50, 75, gloves. Maybe I could. Required to use this towards any target within 100-meter radius into a stream. I think this might be good to keep. For some reason, the nickname Sydney stuck with this cap. Rumor has it, this is the name of the silver who signed the first invoices when issuing uniforms. Blues love Sydneys. They paint them, decorate them with patches, equip them with cigarette pockets, and, of course, wear them for protection from the scorching sun. Okay, I will hold off for now.
As you leave, Sydney vents a barely audible sigh. What a looker, he said.
God. I better put this shit on. Very good. Do I have to put that? No. Okay. Time for my weapons.
The smell of good tobacco wafts off this tall, portly woman from a meter away. A black lacquered pipe, an open logbook full of signatures, and a metal flip calendar sit on the counter in front of her. A small nameplate reads, Margarita Tkachenko. The woman fixes her coppery hair with one hand and casually lights her pipe.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
My
Her
weapon.
voice is deep, and Margarita thumbs back a couple of pages in her logbook.
I see. This was your first receipt.
She glances at her Kairos, looks at you, snorts, and retreats to the shelves. Tkachenko returns in a few minutes holding a large gun.
You like big toys?
She presents the weapon in her outstretched hands.
Take this and sign here. There are more fun things in store, but they're not for everyone.
After racking the slide, Tkachenko points the gun at the ceiling.
High firing rate and good accuracy, even in burst fire mode. Enjoy. Just don't point it at me.
The black hands you the weapon.
Our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
Margarita drags on her pipe and releases a puff of thick, yellow smoke.
I see you know the rules and won't cause problems.
Any drawbacks to this weapon?
Tokachenko pushes a plug of tobacco around the bowl of her pipe.
The safety's on the other side of the world. It's awkward to shoot from around a corner. Also doesn't shoot too well from the left shoulder. Other than that, it's a decent machine gun.
I don't know if I'm going to make it, guys. I might have to make a part 2 of this and end it. Maybe after this, we'll delve into combat in the next one.
The black points at a poster on the wall behind her.
Can you see what's written there? Clean and oil. I have nothing to add.
Thank you.
The armorer shrugs, puffing indifferently on her pipe.
It's the least I could do. We have a requisition list from the Silvers. For free, you receive only rubbish. If you want the real deal, check out the weaponry shop. Only.
Leaning over the counter, the black points somewhere off to one side.
Now it's time for your training. Fatherby is already waiting for you by the big gate. But before the training zone, go see that wizard guy with his toothpicks. Be careful around him, though. Don't let him pitch you a line. Psychic my ass.
She winces in disgust.
Encased has several modifiable keys that will make your gameplay much more comfortable. Hold down Shift to view a more detailed tooltip for an item. Hold Control to attack characters and doors. Hold Alt to highlight interactive objects and objects lying on the ground. More details, okay. Save. Good. Okay, so I'm going to end it here, guys, and I really need a rest or something. And I know I'm not going to play anymore today. I'm so goddamn tired, and I really need a rest. But so far, what I've seen of this game, I absolutely adore, and I love it. There's nothing more I can say other than it's pretty much all that I can ask for in an RPG such as this, an isometric top-down one. The world is incredibly detailed, very descriptive, excellent storytelling. The whole tutorial thing, you know, much like in Morrowind, Oblivion, and I guess to a very slightly lesser extent Skyrim, although it still does a well enough job. You know, it has, you know, the tutorial is something reminiscent to that, where it integrates the gameplay with the tutorial. So that will do it for now. I'll save it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys whenever I'm up to it. Thank you.